What is up YouTube, it's your boy Granite here and welcome to one of my favorite games, 60 Seconds. If you guys don't know what 60 Seconds is, basically we're a family living in the 1950s and the Soviets decide to drop a nuke in our town and we gotta grab our family and jump into our bunker and try to survive. The whole reason why we're playing this today is the double upload yesterday really burnt me out and I don't really want to not upload today, especially on the first day of this month. So we're gonna have a quick game of this, and if you guys enjoy it, we'll play more. So I did have a little test run to see if everything would work. Basically, we're gonna go into Apocalypse, the full atomic experience. Scavenge around your house for supplies, and then survive the post-apocalypse in your fallout shelter. Since this is our first video on it, we're gonna play Little Boy, so it's gonna be quite easy. And let's begin the adventure. So we do have some time to look around. So my daughter is in this room here. The bunker is there, the gun is here, gas mask, flashlight, water. My son is in the bathroom. Alright, we'll grab my son. And let's grab the Boy Scout book. This should be very useful. Let's also grab the gun, the gas mask, and the checkerboard. Let's grab our daughter. Just throw her in there really quickly. We'll grab my wife. We'll grab the water, the padlock. Now, we need to get food, the med kit, the map right here, and the radio. This should help us to survive. I think I got most of the important things. I mean, all my family's in the bunker already. Let's grab the water, food, more water. The flashlight. We need to grab the flashlight. Okay, we'll get that in a minute. Let's go over here. Grab the food. Grab the food! Oh no, we got no time to get the flashlight now. Come on! Okay. We almost didn't make it. I don't think we got the medkit either. Day 1. So let's see. We got 5 cans of food, 7 bottles of water, the ammunition. We did get the medkit. Got the checkers. Our bunker is pretty much full. All of us made it into the shelter just a second before the blast. That was a close one. As long as we're all together, we can make it work down here. We remember hearing canned soup is healthy for you. We can't remember bringing those supplies down to the shelter, but we're not complaining. We probably should have stocked it better anyway, so we did get the medkit, the flashlight, and the ammunition already down here with us. Our shelves are full of cans. We'll eat from cans, we'll sleep on cans, we'll even talk to the cans. Some of us already do. So plenty of water means we don't have to worry about that for some time. This is the best stocked shelter we've ever seen. We've never seen another one, but we're sure this is a good amount of supplies. So everything is pretty good. Obviously, I've played this game quite a lot before, so I know all the strats. Basically, the family can survive on food and water every 5 days, so I don't have to worry about giving them food and water today. We decided to have some fun today and play a game or two. The first one was picking the game we were going to play. This took us most of the day, and we still haven't made up our minds. Since this is on Little Boy, we should fairly survive very easily. There shouldn't be too much of a problem. I think I will definitely play this game a lot more, especially on the harder difficulties, because a lot of scenarios don't happen on Little Boy. We played hide and seek. The longest round we were able to play lasted around 10 seconds, and that was only because the lights went out for a moment. There isn't much going on with Ted. Mary Jane seems fine today. Today's been fine for Dolores. Timmy might not look like it, but he's a strong young boy. We are not alone. There's a huge hairy bunny beast that seems to be hiding in one of the pipes. It's been poking its head out, eyeing our measly food stash. We can't let it get to it. We can't let it be in here when we sleep. Let's use the trusty axe. So hopefully we got the rabbit. Our cans are saved. Too bad for the hairy mutant. Guess we're still on top of the food chain. Good for us. We've discussed everything we could and no one is willing to chat anymore. The silence is really disturbing. We should do something before we start talking to ourselves instead. So let's use the radio. Hopefully we can get in contact with the military, or maybe like a podcast or something talking about the apocalypse. Ah, how fortunate we took the radio with us. We can probably listen to some music. They still play music out there, don't they? I think they'll be playing the radio, like, even when the world is doomed. Our favorite radio station stopped broadcasting. When we tried other frequencies, we found nothing but static. Are all the stations gone? Maybe we should tinker with our radio just to increase its range. Now, since I played this game a lot, I know that we should never tinker with anything, especially the radio, because most of the time they end up breaking it, so we're not gonna tinker with the radio. This may be the first video on the channel of this game, but I am a seasoned veteran, okay? I know everything that's gonna happen. We're sure they are experiencing technical issues. Yes, that's it. Everything will just be fine. Ted looks like he's got one foot in the grave. He needs a drink right now. Mary Jane keeps fainting. She needs something to drink fast. Dolores will not survive without water any longer. Tammy's in terrible shape. We need to give him water now. So it is day 5, so we're gonna give them all food and water. The area is still irradiated. Going to the wasteland is unsafe unless you don't mind getting sick. We do have the gas mask, but we are gonna go out there on day 10. Every new smell attacks our noses in this little shelter instantly. There isn't much we can miss. So, when a single brick fell out from the wall revealing a tight opening, our senses were immediately invaded by a terrible stench. We should probably check that hole out and see what the source of that smell is. Let's do it. There's a time it could be a dead rat trying to get a can of soup. I think that might have been it, because I see another can of soup up there. It is. We looked into the hole fearing something might come at us with claws, fangs, or other mutated and sharp body parts, but nothing happened. Instead, we found a dead rat who was trying to break into a can of tomato soup. He failed miserably. We have a feeling we'll be luckier than him, so we confiscated it and gave the rat a proper burial in an empty can. He deserved that much. So nobody's no longer thirsty or hungry. The contamination of our town is still strong. Ha! Guess what? We already got ourselves a very odd fallout garden. We've got a bunch of mushrooms growing on one of the walls. They're big enough to be eaten. How about that? Should we prepare a mushroom feast today? Considering that there's mutated rabbits already, we're not even a week into this apocalypse, I doubt the mushrooms are going to be any better for us. So let's not eat the mushrooms. We already have plenty of food. We'll stick to soup cans for now. We may be hungry, but there are just some things we will never eat. Wall fungus is one of them. During the night, we heard some suspicious sounds coming from behind our door. When we peeked out in the morning, we saw a leather suitcase. It has no address or name on it, but we're pretty sure it's meant for us. Should we open it? You know what, let's open the strange suitcase. Maybe we could get lucky. There's a chance somebody can get sick. And Ted is hurt. The gift was booby-trapped. There was nothing inside besides some junk, and as soon as we opened the suitcase, it exploded. Is anybody hurt? So we could use the medkit on Ted. I think we will, because it's only day 8. We could get another medkit by going out scavenging. Claustrophobia is difficult to fight against, especially in a little cluttered bunker. Maybe if you could open the door for just a few minutes, let some air in. I don't know if saying no to this scenario will make any of these guys crazy, but I think if we let some irradiated air in, somebody can get sick, and we are using the medkit on Ted, so I don't want to do this. Ted looks like he's got one foot in the grave. He needs to get a drink right now, and Ted has gone crazy. So everybody wants water, but we've got to wait one more day. So we survived 10 days in our fallout shelter. Ted is crazy. He's got a sock puppet out. Oh, it's day 10, so we got to feed everybody and give them a drink. What's that glowing in your pocket, Timmy? Oh no, mutated ants. Their terrifying little mandibles almost gave Dolores a heart attack. She wants them out, but Timmy says it's the beginning of an atomic ant farm. One of them has to have it their way, but who? Let's give it to Dolores because the bugs can get you sick. On the topic of atomic ant farm, Dolores put her foot down several times. She swatted and stomped furiously, with a look of glee on her face, until all the insects were dealt with. Timmy was mortified. Let's actually prepare to scavenge because it's day 11. We can keep sitting on our backsides here in this tiny little bunker, or we can start thinking about getting away as far as possible from this radioactive wasteland. Who would have thought the Reds would ruin such a lovely neighborhood? We could do it on our own. The escaping part, not the ruining part, of course. There might be someone out there who can help us. Let's keep our eyes and ears open. So we'll use the radio, and this is the first part of the first scenario to the military ending. And we also prepare to scavenge. We knew it. The government has not fallen, and they're coming to save us. They didn't give exact dates in their radio transmission, but we're sure they won't keep us waiting long. They said they will be in touch in a couple of days and told us to await further instructions. So we're gonna send Timmy out. It doesn't say that the wasteland outside is still irradiated, but we're gonna give him the gas mask anyway. So hopefully when he goes out and comes back, he'll bring us some good stuff. Timmy went out to the wasteland. We don't know what we'll do if he doesn't come back. We know very little about what's going on outside. It'd be a good idea to find out more. Maybe discover if anyone else made it to the safety. A radio could help with this. Let's use the radio. I think most of the time we'll find out whether the wasteland is radiated or not. We were able to get a weak signal and tap into government's emergency announcement service. And guess what? Great news! The fallout outside has mostly gone. It should be much safer to travel to the surface now. We didn't expect to get a phone call so soon after the atomic bomb drop. Yet here we are. We can clearly hear a phone ringing outside. It must be the public phone booth on the other side of the street. Should someone go answer it? Let's send Ted. Maybe it can make him less crazy. When we answered the phone, we could hear a gasp of relief from the caller. They introduced themselves as survivors from a nearby town of Hill Valley. We had started exchanging information when the call was cut short. Something must have gone wrong on their side. We hope they will get back to us. So that was the beginning of the twin ending. We always stayed away from casinos, gambling dens and the like, so when a man came to our door and told us he used to be a gambler, we were suspicious. He invited us to play a game. He proposed a 2 water bottle bet in a card game of our choice. Well, unfortunately for him, we didn't bring our cards, so we cannot play against him. You know, he's a gambler. He's walking around gambling with people. You'd think he'd bring his own cards. Gambling is a terrible habit. What kind of example is that to set the kids? We need supplies, but we're not getting them like that. We'd sent that man away. Good riddance. So we did feed them, I think. Yeah, we did, because we have 3/4 of food and water. Yesterday, during charades, we learned that Mary Jane doesn't know how to spell anti-establishmentarianism, and it has left Dolores sorely disappointed. She insists on home, or rather shelter schooling Mary Jane a little. So, a lot of the times, whenever we teach someone, or shelter school them, we end up getting something. I don't think we got anything. Dolores did not mess around. What started out as a spelling exercise has quickly found its way to a math revision, followed by a short physics course and ending on tinkering with random objects in the shelter. Mary Jane looks exhausted, but we can't deny the state of our shelter has improved today. Spiders seem to be operating under the assumption that they have all the same rights to the shelter as we do. They're everywhere and we don't seem very scared of us. It's time we change that. We don't want any more spiders in our soup. No sir. Now here's the thing. We can use the Boy Scout book and squash all the spiders. But there is a chance, if we don't do anything, Mary Jane will become mutated and she'll go all purple. So we're not going to hit the Boy Scout book. We're just going to see what happens. And hopefully she'll go mutated. She didn't. What's that sound? A galloping horse? We rushed to the door and were greeted by 2 men dressed like they come from a medieval fair. We identified the source of the sound. One of them was holding 2 rocks and hitting them against each other constantly, while the other was skipping and pretending to be a rider. They said they were looking for some antique cup, but they got lost and they would be most grateful if we would let them check our map, provided we have one. So let's use the map. They do give us something in return whenever we do that. They seem friendly enough, so we let them have a look at our map. They thanked us and offered us some supplies in exchange. We graciously accepted and wished them luck on their quest. There is nothing more surprising than a knock at the fallout shelter door. Who could it be? Should we investigate and risk our very lives? That sounds like a good idea. Shall we open the door? It could be Timmy, so let's open the door. It was. So Timmy came back. He bought a bunch of food and drink. Opening the hatch was a bit risky. It seems it gave us some oval sickness. That coughing is driving us crazy. Oh wait, so it wasn't Timmy. We were so afraid for Timmy, but he came back from the wasteland and is safe for us now. A lot of eggs were smashed on the floor. Guess what? Soup cans don't expire till 2015, which was 11 years ago. Good for us. Oh yeah, I forgot. This game was set in the 1950s. It is day 20, so we get everybody food and water. Let's also prepare to scavenge. Wait, is Mary Jane also sick? No, she's just tired. Ted looks absolutely horrible right now. We don't know what you did last night, Mary Jane, and we're so disappointed in you, young lady. We didn't raise you to be a nasty soup thief, so we lost a kind of soup. So let's send out Dolores. Hopefully she'll come back with a med kit to give to Ted. If Dolores dies or doesn't come back and we don't get a med kit, then it'll be pretty bad, because if Ted dies, it'll be end of the game. What Ted did today was really absurd. During dinner, he suddenly jumped out of his seat and started boxing the gas mask hanging on the wall. So he destroyed the gas mask, which is not ideal. We received another transmission from the army. They'll be doing a quick sweep of the area and asked all survivors to leave markings at the nearest bus stop to indicate they're around. The markings are to be made with cards. Guess we won't be able to play poker, but if that gets rescued, then we can probably make that sacrifice. So it's actually pretty good we got the cards, so we can continue on with the military ending. The cards are in place. All we need to do is wait for the army to pinpoint our location. That shouldn't take long, we hope. We decided to peek outside for just a minute to see if the store around the corner was still standing. When we were about to step out, we heard a growl in the darkness and a pair of ferocious eyes appeared a few feet away. We only had moments to decide what to do. Let's use a flashlight. Because, yep, it's a dog. So in that scenario, if you shoot, we don't actually shoot the dog. The dog just gets scared and runs away. I think same with the bug spray. But with the flashlight, obviously you shine the light at the dog and then you see it's the dog. We decided to check what's coming for us with our flashlight. Guess what? It was a dog. The poor thing seemed tired, so we let it stay with us for the night. The next morning we opened the door to let it out. It still hasn't returned. Hopefully it will come back later. We received a mysterious note today, politely requesting that we share some supplies with other survivors. We have no idea who it might be from, but whoever wrote this also included a few words of encouragement, saying that we will be in some way rewarded for our generosity should we do it. Now, we only have 5 cans of soup, which will last us 25 days. So I think we should, because it could be the twins. The authors of the note turned out to be the twin siblings, a brother and a sister. They greeted us happily and took us to a small tent where they started handing out the supplies we brought to a small group of hungry survivors. Between them were people of all ages, including children, the elderly, and even a mime. The siblings shook our hands and proclaimed this is the beginning of a new friendship. They promised to contact us again soon. So that is good. That was the next part to the twin ending. A sleazy looking trader carrying an equally scruffy bag on his shoulder paid us a visit. He offered us a simple one-time deal. For just one can of soup, we get the bag and all of its contents. We can't see what's inside and the trader gives us angry glances every time we take a step towards a mysterious bag. Should we make a deal? We had a can of soup today. We gave us kind of soup to the twins. I don't think we should give a can of soup to this guy, because then we'll have no soup left. Okay, Ted is not getting better. Our grandparents always told us to never buy anything sight unseen, and we're not about to start now. Gone are the times of yard sales. We can manage without whatever junk is in that mysterious bag. We saw something strange on our way back from expedition. A chain of lights on the horizon, pulsing and flashing in a chaotic manner. It didn't make much sense to us at the time, but when we discussed it in the shelter, Timmy said it might be a secret scout signal. He would need to check out the signal by itself and decode it using a scout book. Let's give him the scout book so he can decode it. Dolores came back. Did she bring back a medkit? She did! We haven't seen Timmy this excited in a long time. He decoded the flashing lights as a scout signal indeed, which means some of his friends are still around and kicking. Unless a few bandits found a scout book laying around, they're now trying to lure innocent kids into a trap. So Dolores found 2 cans of soup, 2 waters and a medkit. That is really good. So we'll give the medkit to Ted. We'll also give Dolores food and water because she didn't get it on day 25. I don't think we need to go to the surface for a while now. Timmy claimed he couldn't sleep last night due to Ted's loud, incessant snoring. Ted angrily retaliated by making quips about the size of Timmy's ears, which enraged Timmy even more. He's desperate for a solution. What can be done about this? Let's use the checkerboard. Maybe they both will calm down now? Okay, I don't know whether Ted calmed down at all, but he's no longer sick. Timmy eventually settled for jamming checkers pieces into his ears. Not what the doctor would order, but it did the trick. He slept well, although one of the pieces is missing this morning. Is it still stuck in his ear? And more importantly, can we still play checkers without it? Timmy prepared a short message to be transmitted tonight. There are a few options on how it could be done, so let's try and pick the best one, or just back out completely. It's not too late to give up on the idea. Let's use the flashlight. Hopefully the flashlight does not break from this. Timmy went outside and climbed the highest point he could find, which in our situation turned out to be a fallen over truck with 2 more cars stacked on top of it. Probably not the safest place to be, but he managed to transmit the message unsuccessfully and return safely. Now we wait. So one more day till they get food and water. Barking at our doorstep could only mean one thing. Our dog friend is back. Not caring for hazards of the wasteland, we rushed to open it and there he was. The poor thing seemed tired and starving. Should we share some of our food with him? Most definitely. The dog was back on his former self in under an hour. We don't know what they put in that soup, but man, that stuff is good. So let's feed them and give them water. Someone is very serious about banging on that hatch. We are scared to open it, but it might be some good news, right? We would gladly welcome any friendly face, even if it was our neighbor, Ned. We're pretty sure that if there was any reason why our town got bombed, he would be that reason. Shall we open? Let's open it. It's still too early for the twins and for the military ending, so I wonder what it could be. Nobody is sick. Timmy was right. The signal did come from his scout friends. They managed to track us down thanks to the transmission Timmy sent out a few days ago, and they came bearing gifts. Timmy was happy to reunite with his friends, if only for a day. All in all, this was a good day, so they gave us a gas mask, which is really good. It has become more and more difficult to breathe in the shelter over the last couple of hours. We suspect there is something wrong with the ventilation. Maybe it got stuck somehow, but how? We need to investigate or we might suffocate. Use the Boy Scout book. If in doubt, use the Boy Scout book. It always works. And Dolores is sick, so now Dolores needs a medkit. We might have to go back out there. The military is communicating through the radio again. We're sure it was a signal to evacuate out of here, but it turns out they need our help. The speaker requested that all able citizens in the area should chop down a tree or two in the nearby park. It sounds ridiculous, but they're claiming this will make it easier for them to extract us. We never even liked that park. Let's do this already. So I'm pretty sure after we use this axe, we won't get it back. It'll probably break. And it did. So let's send out Mary Jane this time. The fallout is mostly gone. We found that from the radio, so we don't need to give her the gas mask. Hopefully she'll come back safe and sound, and hopefully she'll come back with a medkit. The siblings have visited us today. They told us they're searching the town for a safe place that would do well as a possible camp. So far the group has been living in a tent, but they're picking up more wastelanders every day and they simply don't have enough space. Let's give them the map. Hey, it's Pancake. Our friend is back, but it seems very nervous and he keeps barking and jumping. When we opened the door, he rushed out only to come back a moment later and bark at us again. Maybe we should follow him? What gear shall we take? Let's take the map. I think with the map we get food, and with the gun we get water. And we're right, and Ted is no longer here. As well prepared hiker always takes a map. And we got 3 food. Ted could not resist the madness that was consuming him any longer. It seems that today, following the advice of his sock puppet, he left the bunker and went into the unknown direction. So if Dolores dies, this is game over, because we need at least one adult to survive. We've been wondering what happened to Uncle Brian. He should be far from where the bomb fell, but no one knows for sure. It would be great to find out. He always looked on the bright side of life. So maybe we should too, but it's not easy. Say, didn't we have a photo of him? Let's use the Boy Scout book. Hopefully we can find a picture of him. And please, Mary Jane, come back with a medkit. We did. The photo we were looking for was stuck between the pages of the Scout handbook. What a lucky coincidence. It's a bit blurry, but it's still a wonderful surprise. A woman came by with a creature that she claims is a camel, provided that camels have 5 legs. When we heard a knock on the door this morning, we held our breath in fear, but we soon heard children's voices coming from outside. We decided to open up. It turned out the voices belonged to a pair of Girl Scouts. They used to sell cookies, but they have branched out and now they offer other items too. Smart girls. They offer the medkit for the gas mask. So let's give the medkit to Dolores and also let's feed them both. A knock on the door we don't take lightly. A profitable game of cards. You know what? Let's skip out on the gambling. I don't feel that lucky. Mary Jane is back. Yeah, 2 food, 2 water and the bug spray. We're about to finish our dinner, if you can call it that, when we heard someone knocking on the door. It seems to be a trader who is very interested in ammunition. How about that? Let's give it to them. She gave us 1 kind of food. It's been a while, but there was another message from the military on the radio. They want us to send 1 person out to meet them. Sounds like some kind of precaution or a trick. We hope we know what we're getting into. Who should we send? Let's send Dolores. You know, a trusted adult. We heard Pancake. We managed to make it to the meeting in time. We tried our best to answer the questions the soldiers asked us. Let's hope we fulfilled their expectations and our ragged appearance didn't make a bad impression. No, no, no. Pancake rolled back to us, but he's severely injured. The poor thing has been shot by some monster. We need to help him. Oh, I want to help him so bad. But there's no medkit. We can't do anything. That actually sucks, because if we gave him that medkit then, he would be in the bunker with us. Like, we could actually see him in the bunker. We didn't think anything could be worse than a nuclear bomb dropping on our heads. We were wrong. We buried Pancake next to the shelter. He's dead? This is just sick. The siblings are back with their group to announce that their camp has been finished. They are attempting to make living there as enjoyable as possible, and they have one problem. The children. Let's just give them the cards so they stay entertained. We already used the cards for the military ending already, so we don't really need the Where's Mary Jane gone? When Mary Jane found out she isn't getting a single drop of water, she got furious. She stomped out into the wasteland, shouting over her shoulder that we'll regret this, and that she's getting her water one way or another. I mean, to be fair, she came back from the wasteland and I didn't give her water. That's kind of on me. A sleazy looking trader, let's just not. I mean, if he came earlier and... Wait, oh, I forgot to give her food and water. I was so distracted by the sleazy trader. If you only had a few drops of water, we could have avoided what happened. Dolores died of dehydration that night. Lack of water drove Timmy insane. He opened the shelter door and ran away without looking back. He's not likely to return. Guys, I messed up. Obviously, I've played this game quite a lot before, so I know all the strats. He only survived 46 days? You perished. Well guys, this is not the ending I was expecting for this run. I genuinely forgot to give them food and water. I was just distracted by this sleazy looking trader. I mean, he came to us on like day 20 and he's been walking around this entire time with that bag, and he couldn't, you know, trade it to anybody. He decided to come back. We will most definitely be playing this game again because I really enjoy playing this. It isn't like a typical game where you gotta do a lot of like strategy. I mean, there is strategy involved in this game, but this is more just like a sit down reading game. If you guys enjoyed it, let me know in the comments below. Also, I'm setting myself a challenge. My challenge is I want to get a video out every single day for this month. I really think I can do it. Hopefully I can. I do also want to sprinkle in a couple double uploads this month as well, because I really believe I can do it. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're notified exactly when I upload. And until next time guys, see ya.